Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I release a legacy video every Friday. Hello everyone, Martin here, back with another legacy video, and today I'm trying something a little bit different. I'm going to be playing in the Legacy Sunday Challenge on Magic Online, which is a 64 player minimum tournament that usually has around I would say like 120 players. And I usually don't play these because they kick off at like 5 p.m. Where I live, which is that's not bad at all. But when you have kids and all that stuff, family life, taking every Sunday off at like 5 till the rest of the evening is not always ideal. And also, like, there is something about recording one of these events that is a little bit, taxing. I've done it like once before, and the only other times have been like replays. But I'm going to try it today, and I'm playing this bug list that I've been sort of tinkering with for the past couple of weeks, and have been reasonably happy with. Um, I think things of note here is I decided to add a main deck Relic of Progenitus. Oops, I can see the bottom of these aren't showing, so you can't see the One Ring. There we go. Yeah, a single relic in the main deck. This is because what's this? This is because I am expecting a lot of Scaminator and also like other scam type strategies, and like having a stored draw in play is also just not a bad thing with Doomsday. Finally, this can also like this can stop an endurance. I don't expect a lot of main deck endurances, but that's just sort of a bonus. So like your opponent, you have this in play, and your opponent basically don't really have a window to endurance. They would need two endurances. So yeah. Now this was a little bit of a sore thumb for me to get to find space for because a little while ago I added a second Edge of Autumn, and I've been really pleased with that. And I did think, like, should I be cutting like a one of the cyclers? But I just like having four cyclers has been really has impressed me. Then there was the Drown in the Lock, and I almost cut this, but because like as a spell that allows you to power through a Doomsday, it's not that ideal because basically you need blue black aside from the black 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 or the four generic you need for the One Ring. But I found like having a spell that sometimes can do that, sometimes can just counter like an opposing Doomsday or uh, Reanimate or something, and then also sometimes can just like kill a creature late on, is pretty good. Um, Ever since I cut white from the deck, we don't have Teferi, so like if your opponent ever like resolves a creature that you can't beat, I don't know, like say a Doorkeeper Thrall or something, we have like an answer someplace in the deck. And I I also like this deck without white has a really hard time answering a Murktide Regent. And I know that like the Murktide Regent is a 7 mana spell, but like the deck's casting Murktide Regent either will often have 7 cards left in the deck even after resolving Murktide, or will pretty quickly get 7 cards. So if you can't counter it on the way in, it's not unreasonable to be able to kill it like 1 or 2 turns later. And that was pretty appealing to me. So the concession I made was to cut the third daze. We're already like I'm on 4 Veil of Summer. I also considered cutting the fourth Veil, but I'm sort of bringing this in to combat the black scam decks. So like cutting a Veil of Summer didn't seem like it made that much sense. So I really like 3 dazes. I really hate not having the third daze. We'll see. We'll see if this pays off or not. We're on 20 blue cards, which is on the slim side, but not unreasonably so, I think. No blue cards in the sideboard, so whenever we cut a blue card, we have to really be mindful of what we're doing here. And I decided to add a third Shieldred because versus Tempo decks and also versus stuff like Painter, I like to board completely out of the Doomsday package. And doing that, I found having 2 Shoulderits and 2 Orcish Bowmasters as my then only win conditions, it felt just a little bit short. And there are times when like you resolve a ring early, and you just ring, and eventually you're down to like 30 or 25 cards in the deck, but now you're like almost dead to the ring, and not being able to find one of your 2 Shoulderits was a little bit of a problem. But I just got the notification that my the tournament is starting, so I am going to jump into that. All right, on the play for round number 1, let's go. And I just looked up my opponent, and I do that for these kinds of tournaments. I'm not gonna lie. I would also sort of encourage anyone to do that. Basically, just like Google your opponent's name in Magic Online, or use MTG Goldfish, and then like /player/player name. And I know that some people don't sort of will frown at that, but I think it's sort of it's basically a tool that's available for everyone. So it's not like I'm using hidden like some sort of hidden resource that my opponent can't. And I expect my opponents to do this. All right. And by my opponent's last result was like a couple weeks ago with the Epic Storm, so that's interesting. But they didn't have like it's not like a long parade of Epic Storm finishes. I think I'm going to keep this. It's yeah, well, heavy on the ponders, but I'm going to ponder looking for Force of Will or Veil of Summer, and there is Force of Will, and I guess I don't hate the other land. Alternatively, we can cycle the Lord Revealed on our next upkeep if we don't want to draw it. I'm not gonna play out the pedal because I don't think it really benefits me here. Yeah, okay. I think this is the Epic Storm, and I know that they have adopted these the Surveil lands. I don't think I mind taking the second land here, or the third land, I suppose. And I'm gonna get an Underground Sea and cast another Ponder. There's another Force of Will, but I think our hand needs to do something here rather than just like accrue counterspells, so I'm gonna shuffle. And unfortunately, I pick up the Thassa here, which is it's pretty bad. Opponent casts Ponder. Yes, Ponder resolves. I don't think I cycle this, the Lorn Revealed. We're not like a million miles away from casting it, and I think I'd rather just have it as the blue card right now. Alright, opponent did not shuffle, but are passing the turn. There's a Veil of Summer, and I think we could ponder here. Maybe, yeah, I think I am supposed to ponder. Another Force of Will. Like, again, I think actually, yeah, do I take this? So the thing is, if I end up having to pitch Thassa's Oracle, that is my win condition gone. So right now, like even though I have 3 blue cards, adding the Force of Will doesn't really do it. And I think I would rather. I'm not sure how high I should be valuing Veil of Summer in this matchup, to be honest. Like, I think they normally mostly win with Tendrils of Agony, but I'm sure they have access to Grape Shot and Empty the Warrens. So I think I am gonna shuffle here, and we find another land. Okay. Well, next turn we can trade this Lorn Revealed and Lotus Petal for 3 cards if we want to. But that would leave us without Veil of Summer up. Bloodstained Mire. Okay, they're just passing again. They've been sculpting, and I'm pretty sure they have to be like very close to going off here. Alright, I think I'm going to fetch out my Surveil land now, since we have the 3rd, or the 4th land rather, to be able to get to green next turn, if we want to. Daze. Do I want a Daze? I think probably not. I think the time for Daze has come and gone. Underground Sea. I am going to wait one more turn here and keep up Force plus Veil. Like if I played the Petal here and cast Lorn Revealed, then first of all I have to hit another blue card, which I feel, you know, that probably is within reason for me to do. And yeah, I have to do that, but also like if I don't hit another Petal, then I don't have green mana up. Meanwhile, they probably can guess what we're doing over here. If I were like some sort of Dimir or Bug tempo or mid-range or control deck, I probably would have like cast a creature by now. But they have to still at least sort of semi-respect that we could have like Bowmasters or like a Stifle or something. Okay, there's a Chrome Mox. What I'm most worried about here is probably like a really big galvanic relay, or I guess them just being able to go off and kill me. Yeah, I really wish this was a polluted delta, like the third delta, so they wouldn't perhaps have green on the radar here, because that is like, oh, they imprinted the gay as well, which makes me think they probably don't play two, right? There's Dark Ritual, okay. Dark Ritual, sure. And another Chrome Mox. This looks like a Beseech the Mirror for more like Beseech into Beseech and then kill with Tendrils, maybe? With Veil backup? I would assume. But they're tapping for green. If they cast Veil here, I feel like I probably have to counter that in case they end up like casting Echo of Eons for the rest of the, our the turn that are potential future forces. Okay, so they are casting Beseech here, and I think I just let it resolve. Like, I'm not playing into the Veil of Summer that I think they have. And if they don't have it, then I'll be able to counter, like, unless they have main deck Empty the Warrens here. I feel like the Veil is going to counter their Tendrils. My Veil, I mean. Yeah, but let's see what they're up to. And if it's not Tendrils, if they go for like Song of Creation, I can just force that. And if they have the Veil, I wouldn't have had the force anyway, so whatever. Okay, they beseeched for another beseech, and they beseech for yet another beseech. But that now doesn't have bargain, right? So what's the play here? If I guess they could just go for Galvanic Relay. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Cabal Ritual. Is this where I take my stand? So if I force this and they Veil, how do we look? Then they have one red and several black. And maybe if their last card is like Burning Wish, we get them to, yeah, I think I actually do force this. Maybe we can get them. Here comes the Veil. Yep. Okay, so lots of Storm. Hopefully that can embolden them to go for the Tendrils kill here. I hope so. There's a Dark Ritual. What's your last card in your hand? Just not Galvanic Relay. Yes, please. Okay. Tendrils, target me with everything, please. So this doesn't mean the game is over, but it does mean it's going to take them a while to recover. And I'm gonna get, I guess, I'll just get the Bayou. We have another, I could have gone Trop because we have another black land in hand for Doomsday, but yeah. Okay, I draw a Dark Ritual, and I'm gonna yield. Okay, all right, and I think I just pass here. Maybe I should play out the land. I don't think it matters like hugely, but we need the deck to deliver something now. A Doomsday or the One Ring would do nicely. I would take a Lorn Revealed. I would take a Force of Will even. All right, they are passing after a long deliverance here. Oh, come on. Not like this. So the last 4 cards have been Dark Ritual, Petal, Underground Sea, something like that. Okay, they're passing. Please, no more mana. Street Wraith. I don't think playing the Street Wraith here is my route to victory. That gives them 6 turns. I think I'd rather cycle it. Okay, Force of Will. I think I just pass. We have Hardcast Force now. So their Gaia's Will is gone. 3 of their Beseech the Mirrors are gone. That means they have one more Beseech the Mirror and probably some Burning Wish. Brainstorm. Pay me off, please. There we go. There we go. Okie doke. Let's just win. And we can get to do this by keeping up force. So let's just get the Thassa and 4 cyclers. I guess we only need 3 cyclers. We can make the last one a daze, right? No. Oh, come on, brain. So we cast Brainstorm, draw a cycler, 4 cards left in the deck. No, I think I need all the cyclers. There we go. We'll be at 7. After that, we'll be at 3 from the 2 street wraiths. All right. So yeah, that was a cruel fate for them that we had the veil. And you know, we take those. All right. I don't have a ton versus this in the sideboard, but I think my main deck is somewhat decently set up with the 4 veils and um and the 4 forces and you know 3 more interaction spells between drown and 2 dazes. But um I think I actually like a pernicious deed here because one of their plans has to be involve empty the warrens, and we can also just there will be times they have to expect that we may have Thoughtseize, so there are times when they might just play out like some of their diamond like mana rocks. I also kind of like some of the creatures here. They can be a bit of a trap. Like their deck can pretty easily beat Bowmasters. Sheoldred is also beatable, of course, but you can't Veil of Summer a Sheoldred, so it's a lot harder. It's like them resolving like Echo of Eons is a guaranteed 14 life loss for them and a 14 life gain swing for me in terms of like how much storm they have to build. So I don't hate that. Let's see. Those 3. We can side out Cavern of Souls. We can I guess having the main deck Relic is honestly not the worst. They are a graveyard combo deck. So maybe what else? We trade off a little bit of speed here. Maybe 2 cyclers like that. So we're still at 20 blue cards. Yeah, let's try this. Like if I get to go like Dark Ritual, Sheoldred, that's pretty good. But it can also just like they can then just beseech the mirror, kill you. You know. They're on a mulligan to 6. I'm gonna keep this. We have like a bit more than a 1 in 3rd chance that Street Wraith cycles into a blue card, and they're also on 6 cards, and they have to kind of respect that we're a 7 card hand here. Let's see. They surveil Chrome Mox into the graveyard. Okay. We got a blue card. That's good. We're also almost we're at a point where we can win, but let's I think we pass here and then keep open force plus veil and live that sweet life if we can. Thoughtseize. Well, and I am going to get Tropical Island here. It kind of puts me far away from casting this Doomsday unless I find a Dark Ritual, but I still think it's better to be able to cast my blue spells and draw another. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good for us. Okay, like keeping the Wraith here in case we find land plus Dark Ritual, that will let us sort of win on the same turn, assuming we don't have to play around anything. I don't think Tez really plays a lot of stuff for other combo decks like that, like Flusterstorms or Surgicals. I think maybe I like keeping the Street Wraith in hand, but let's see. Yeah, I mean, so let's go like this. We can play the land here. If they have another Thoughtseize for us, we can cycle Street Wraith into Veil and then fetch Bayou. And I think otherwise I'm gonna take the draw step and just take the Veil of Summer. It's kind of unfortunate that the second card down is another Tropical Island. If that was Underground Sea, that would just be perfect. Okay, there's Lotus Petal, another Lotus Petal. Red mana. What's this? Burning Wish. Yes, I'm gonna let Burning Wish resolve. Let's see what you get. Could be like Galvanic Relay. Could be another Thoughtseize maybe. Galvanic Relay. Okay. I mean, hang on. This is turn 3. Did they play a land this turn? They did not. So like, if one of their 2 cards in hand is a land, forcing this Petal is just a huge trap. So I'm not gonna spew off a force here. We'll see if I live to regret that. This is their, what, 3rd spell? This is going to be their 4th? Oh, bummer. So this is Storm 5. And looks like I would have gotten paid off. Okay, so they, let's start exiling here. They exile Lion's Eye Diamond, that's good. Tendrils, that's not so good. Burning Wish, a land, and another LED. So all in all, like decent, but not backbreaking for us. So we'll draw the Veil, and now the question is, do I brainstorm? I know I'm guaranteed to hit a land, but it's not really the land I want. But if I were to hit like a Dark Ritual, and the land in question, or just Dark Ritual, I just win right now. Maybe having said that, I'm supposed to even like fetch to increase. Yeah, I think I like that. I'm gonna get Bayou here, and then I'm gonna cast Brainstorm. Oh, and there's a pedal, so almost, but not quite. Can I somehow? Would I somehow be interested in leaving a Doomsday on top and then cycling Wraith into it, cracking LED, and then like casting a Brainstorm on top or something off the pedal? Probably not. I guess I don't hate this. Like finding the second Brainstorm is good enough, or pretty good. I'm probably gonna have to put back Doomsday and I guess Pernicious Deed, and then I'm gonna play out the pedal here. That leaves us with the most options. That way we can like cycle once, cast Brainstorm if we were to want like if we were to need to hit like another blue card or something. I don't know, but that's probably not going to happen. But let's see. So they have, there's the sea. They can play their diamonds. Mostly I'm worried about Veil of Summer at this point from them. It's interesting if they don't like win now, or like the tendrils is going to be gone, but they obviously they have Burning Wishes for days. I think also we have to exile or force this Burning Wish because it just gets like another relay. So, and they played a card from hand. What was that? That was a Dark Ritual, I guess. So they have one unknown card, which we really would love for to not be Veil of Summer. Looks like this is Beseech the Mirror from hand. Okay, so they have no cards in hand. They can like, if I counter this, they can sack an LED for red. They have 4 red. Then they can sack another LED for black, I guess. That would have 7 mana. They use 5 from the Burning Wish, or 2 for the Burning Wish, 5 floating. They can then get like Empty the Warrens or another Tendrils. If they get another Galvanic Relay, that's probably the thing I would want the least. They can't get Peer into the Abyss. I think I am gonna force Pitch Force here. That leaves me with like I can't make that Hail Mary play of like trying to brainstorm into 2 unknown cards and needing both of them to be blue. I could also have let this resolve and then like they go for Gay as well. Maybe that would have been correct. So here's where they make their Burning Wish play. I'm gonna pass priority really quick just to make it seem like I don't have a play here, and hopefully, I guess they can't get Tendrils because Tendrils isn't enough. But hopefully they get like Empty the Warrens because I have a surprise for them in the Pernicious Deed that's on top of my deck. And like I said, like the most scary thing they could get is Galvanic Relay, but fortunately they empty their Warrens, and they are gonna get annihilated here by this Pernicious Deed. Activate 0. Done. Your move, pal. Okay. So their main deck Tendrils is gone. That's an exile. And we don't know the one card in their hand. They just drew it now. They're passing. Okay, so I'm gonna draw the second Doomsday, and I think I'm gonna cycle Street Wraith here. I really don't want to get Brainstorm locked, so I want to dig as deep as I can. And now we know we aren't gonna get Brainstorm locked, so that's good. Let's get rid of 1 copy of Doomsday and of the Lion's Eye Diamond. And I'm gonna try and consider, I think probably, I could also just get this for Veil Land, but consider replaces itself. So I'm going to consider end of turn here, look for a 4th land, and then, well, then we have the choice between just going for the same turn win or playing the 1 ring and then winning. That it seems almost free. They choose not to shuffle. That seems almost free because I don't think their deck can win through the protection from everything clause on the One Ring. It would only cost us if they somehow, I don't know, play something wacky like a lock piece or something, like a blood moon, I guess. And interestingly, I'm gonna put this in the graveyard, the Thassa. If they have surgical, that's pretty unfortunate. And I draw the Surveil land, which is also pretty unfortunate. I think I am going to brainstorm here. I'd rather have a fetch land. Okay, that's a lot of that. I'd rather have a fetch land here to be able to fetch into the Surveil land. And we could Doomsday right now, but I don't want to do that. I'd rather keep open Veil, or keep up Veil, I mean. Because I don't think they aren't able to win through this Veil on the same turn. Like I guess it would have to involve Grape Shot, but I don't see how they get there from 2 cards. And now my Brainstorm is gone, so I think I'm going to Surveil, and then I'm going to cast the One Ring and expect to be able to untap and win. Yeah, Undercity Sewers, cycling. Let's put this relic into the graveyard. I'm actually kind of interested in finding a blue card or a force, which I guess would be a blue card. Yeah, finding a force here would be nice because for some reason, like there was a big pause in my fetch land. Like them having access to a single stifle would probably be very, very unheard of, but also not completely. I guess I don't know what would the Epic Storm want with a copy of Stifle. I don't know, but like being able to like make Doomsday here and have 2 open mana and build a pile that lets us draw into Force of Will seems kind of interesting. If they were to surgically extract our Thassa here, we have to then make a Doomsday pile that lets us win with Sheoldred, and then just looping Doomsdays, which is possible, but gets a little bit tricky with the One Ring. Okay, so they are using their commercial district Surveil here, and they're just passing. 3 cards in hand now. I take 1. I just don't mind having another land in play here. So let's cast Doomsday. I'm not sure we're able to get through the deck here because because we don't have all the cyclers left. So what we could do actually, how about this? We put the One Ring and a Dark Ritual in the pile. I guess no, hang on, I have the One Ring. So Force of Will. And I guess, I don't know, Consider. Seems fine. I guess I could get through the deck right now. What am I saying? I have LED and Consider, but I kind of like this, so let's just do this. So we'll activate Ring. We draw Force of Will plus Dark Ritual. We cast Dark Ritual and cast the One Ring, keeping the new one. We have protection for a turn cycle. There are 3 cards left in the deck. We untap, we draw one of them, let's say the Edge of Autumn, and then we untap and draw Consider, and then cast Consider, draw Thassa. Yeah, sign me up. And we can Veil in between, then just not do the Consider thing. Yeah, let's go. Okay, so they brainstorm in response. For a second, I thought that there was actually going to be a Stifle here. I was like, what would that have been? Well, now we can choose to draw a card with the Veil of Summer, but probably won't do that. All right, let's do this, and let's cast the One Ring, and I'll keep the new one, and I'll just draw. I guess I don't even need to consider. Like, I'm gonna draw, Consider, and then I can just cycle Edge. Doesn't matter. They would have to have something that I'm just like completely like nimble obstructionist or something, I think. Or I guess like 2 copies of Stifle, 2 copies of something relevant. Okay, they're casting Brainstorm. No matter what happens right now, like they can't target me, so they can't, like, even if they had something like Brain Freeze, which I guess they could cast on my turn, but then I could just fail. But like Brain Freeze or Grape Shot or another Tendrils, like nothing matters in that sense, anyways. They could have, maybe they could be playing something like Orcish Bowmasters, but I think the time has also come and gone for that card. Yeah, there we go. All right, off to a winning start. Excellent. All right, on the play for round number 2, my opponent is a sometimes legacy player, it seems, that also seems to be like big on playing goblins. Or I'm not sure about that. That was the only legacy entry I could find. So who knows? They seem to be playing a lot of Pioneer and Modern and stuff. I'm gonna keep this hand and just make my land drop and probably cycle Lorn Revealed. But who knows? We shall see what happens. Also, I just looked, and incredibly, like there are exactly 64 players that enrolled in the tournament, which was the minimum. I think it's because this Sunday that I'm recording this, there is also the showcase qualifier, whatever. The naming conventions of Magic Online tournaments is a little bit hard to navigate. But I think like a big-ish tournament that people that have qualified throughout the year have been like are now able to play in, or maybe it's like a quarterly thing. I'm not sure. But in any case, I think that means there are quite a few legacy grinders playing that rather than in this challenge. And so it basically, I mean, it's a 6 round tournament, and I think normally it's like 8 rounds, sometimes 9 rounds, depending on players. So yeah, it's not that many like rounds you have to win to be in contention for top 8. Let's see. All right, here we go. Land go. So like if opponent drops like a chalice for 0, obviously I'm gonna regret the low spell. Oh, is this gonna be goblins? Yes, it is. Okay. Just pass here. I almost want to brainstorm here and then potentially like fetch on my upkeep. What's the yeah? No, I think I'm gonna cycle the Lord Revealed. And I'm just gonna go double Underground Sea here. The green mana in my deck is not really gonna be very useful versus goblins, like Veil of Summer. Another Lorien Revealed. So I think I pass here. And then, so what I would then like to have happen is I'm just going to cycle Lorien Revealed end of turn again. Probably get another Underground Sea. And then I play the One Ring. And then hopefully find Doomsday, and then I just win. That's my hope, my dream. And I think I will do that regardless of what they do, because, like, dazing. I know I can't daze whatever comes through the cavern here, but it's a Namesparer Goblin. If they hit like Muxus, like if they had 6 mana here, play Muxus. Oh, they only hit 4. And now whatever comes through, I can counter. Okay, Rabble Master, sure. So we get hit for 1 here, and then we get to cast Ring, which is pretty decent. And if we find a land or a mana source in the top, like I guess 3 or 4 cards, we'll get to cast like another ring to time walk them once again. And if we at any point find the Doomsday, I think we're looking pretty solid. Okay, getting another C. And draw Edge of Autumn. Okay. So here comes the One Ring. It basically reads like gain somewhere between like 8 and a lot more life, and draw a card now and a lot of cards in a little bit. Veil of Summer, unfortunately, not the droids we were looking for. Okay, so they should be attacking here with the Rabble Master regardless. Okay, 3 mana. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was thinking that's weird. They were tapping their Cabinet of Souls for colorless, but then they untapped it. I was thinking like, okay, if they like play a Trinisphere or something, I am gonna counter that with my days. This looks like a Chalice though, which is not nothing. Yeah, I can't really do anything, so just gonna have to let that resolve. We can still just win if we find Doomsday in the if Doomsday is the top card of the deck. But if not, then we are gonna need a little bit of help here. Okay, so they move to combat, and Sure, just attack. Big attack. Alright, we take one. How about a Doomsday, huh? Alright, the second land is good. Or second land, the fourth land, I mean. So I'm gonna draw two. I think I do need to... Well, I do need to just cast the second ring, but probably keep my first ring to be able to draw 3 next turn. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, so we keep the one with 2 counters on it. And next turn I'll be taking 2, I'll be at 17. Oh, sorry, 15. And how much damage are they representing right now? So it's like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 next turn. And then this gains 1 for each attacking goblin, which would next turn be 4, 5. So this would be 7. So 7, 8, 9 plus 4. That's 13. And then I would untap and die, I think. So yeah. Things need to happen now. I do need to find Doomsday. Alternatively, I could find Drown in the Lock and kill the Rappelmaster on their turn to get one more turn, I think. But let's see here. Okay, draw 3. Come on. Yes, there we go. Alright, let's cast the Doomsday. So we'll be at 7. Looks like they are F6 in here. I can't get Hellbent, or can I? Hellbent, by Hellbent I mean, Alright, yeah, by Hellbent I meant I can't get my deck empty, so if they are playing something like a Pyrokinesis, I don't think I can beat that. I guess I that's not true. I could get like put a Force of Will in here as well. So how about Force of Will, the 2 other cyclers? I'll be at 7. I'll take 4. I'll be at 3 from the 2 Street Wraiths, and maybe I'll hide the Drown in the Lock. Or doesn't really matter. Okay, so Edge cycles into Edge, which cycles into Street Wraith, which cycles into Force of Will. My last Street Wraith cycles into Thassa. I just check to make sure I didn't like miss up here and already play a land. Turn 5. No, I didn't play a land. Okay, so this wins with Force of Will and Daze backup and 1 card left in the deck. Yeah, let's try this. Cycling my cyclers. Counter Souls on Merfolk. Alright, that was that got a little bit dicey towards the end, but we found the Doomsday on the last turn after having drawn 6 cards with the ring, so that was good. Alright, so goblins. We need an answer to Magus of the Moon. And I think having Boseiju for like being able to randomly snipe a Blood Moon if they have that, or just one of their artifact prison pieces. Like we already saw Chalice. Sometimes they play like Trinispheres. All right, so I'm looking at their at the sideboard of the list they played a while back, and it played like 2 Blood Moon and 0 Magus of the Moon. So that does make me want to kind of reconsider the Dismembers. I mean, Dismember can also like kill Namestickered Goblin with the trigger on the stack or whatever. That's a good question. So basically, I need to find something to replace these 4 Veil of Summer. I think the rest of the deck I'm kind of happy with. And like 1-for-1 removal is not that exciting, I think. Shoulder, I don't think makes much sense because like they don't draw cards and eventually they'll just completely like outmuscle her. Pernicious Deed could do something. Like that could be a card we would want. Most likely though, the game isn't going to go that long. So we would need to probably like on turn 3 cast Pernicious Deed, pass back, giving them their 4th turn, and then not be dead for when we get our 4th turn and have the 4th land, blah blah blah. But it still might be okay. I don't think siding in like Bowmasters does anything. Yeah, I'm gonna go like this, I think. Yeah, let's try it out. Hopefully, like ideally, I just want to like put Doomsday on the sacks as fast as possible. And okay, I mean I'm gonna keep this. This has this is turn 2 Doomsday, and we can force pitch days. But yeah, let's see. I'm gonna let this Chromox resolve Goblin Ringleader and a Rabble Master. So let's see here. I take 1 from the Goblin, I untap. Then I take 2 plus 2 plus 2, I take 6. I'm at 13. Then I cast Doomsday, I'm at 6, and then I'm dead. I'm gonna Force of Will this. This could end up sort of costing me in the sense that if they just have if they follow this up with a Blood Moon or a Trinisphere or something. But hey, you know, pick your poison. Bombardiers. Bombardiers can happen. So I'm gonna cycle Lorien Revealed here. I don't expect them to fling anything here with the Bombardiers. It would have to be the Chromox. If I draw any Lotus Petal or Dark Ritual or a Cycler, then I get to win right now. I don't. I draw Ponder. Let's see. Let's try to do this again. If I cast Doomsday and then I drop to 8, then they beat me down to 6, and they would need a 4-drop to kill me. Or I cast Ponder right now, look for one of the things that were just a land. I think I like that. Okay. So I think I am actually going to put Dismember into my hand and then draw Tropical Island next turn. I think I'm actually going to play out the Petal right now. There are like goblins that kill artifacts, but I wouldn't expect it to be something I have to contend with here. And can they fling something that wasn't in play? Sacrifice creature deals damage to 2 plus activate only if this creature is, yeah, so they can attack with the Bombardiers and they can like drop a big thing into play. All right, hang on. So let's just see here. This comes into play. If I kill it, I'm down to 13. I have to take 4 damage because I can't afford to lose my Petal. I'm at 14. Then they attack with. I don't think they can play another creature here. They attack with the Bombardiers. I'm at 11. They can fling this for 3, so that doesn't matter. Sorry, by the way, if you can hear some noise in the background, it's my kids. They're in the other room, but we have thin walls. I think I let this happen, and then I kill it, and then just like hope they don't go like Ancient Tomb Chalice, basically. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, so the trigger is on the stack, and in response, I'm going to dismember it, which is actually a fairly brutal thing when you think about it, to be doing to another thing. Pulling it limb from limb. Long pause. I'm not sure what they could have here to think about, but it's possible. Because they can't sacrifice it yet because this is only after this attacks. They could have, yeah, I don't know. All right, so they are attacking. Let's see if they have actions in the second main phase. They didn't. All right, so we get to do what we wanted to do, and we basically lose if they have something like Mindbreak Trap. I don't know. We probably lose if they have Surgical Extraction. All right, Doomsday resolves. Let's just make this the standardist of standardist things. So we want Consider. We want Edge of Autumn. We want Thassa's Oracle. We want Lion's Eye Diamond. And we want Street Wraith. Our life total is not going to matter here. Because like we either win right now or we pass the turn and lose. Like we can't pass the turn and win even if we didn't take any damage off, because they have they're showing 6 damage, or rather 5 damage, which is what our life total is going to be. No, hang on, that's not true strictly speaking, right? 2 from this and then 2 from this because it's 0. Okay, so theoretically, if we remained at 4 life, we could live another turn, but then we would have sacrificed 2 lands if we replace the Street with Edge. It's number 2. It doesn't matter, I don't think. I think we have this, but let's see. It's going to be Mindbreak Trap or Bust. Put back Doomsday, Consider on top, and maintain priority, sack Edge of Autumn, or cycle Edge of Autumn, sacking LED. And cast the Consider, put Doomsday in the graveyard, draw the Street Wraith, cycle that. Do you have it? No, you don't. And we got it. Sweet. 2-0. All right. Round number 3 on the draw versus an opponent that has only legacy finishes with Golgari Depths, which it looks like is what they are playing. All right. And we have turn 1 Doomsday here. Slightly awkward that the Undercity Sewers is our land. Fortunately, we have the Lotus Petal, but I think they are a deck that can play Wasteland. But I mean, I'm not gonna cast Doomsday here, so why don't we just do that, and we can mill something with the Sewers. Turn 1 Doomsday with Force of Will backup. Generally, we go for that. Alright, so I have the Lorien revealed that can go get basic island. I'm gonna put, what am I gonna put into the graveyard? I don't think it'll matter. Maybe like a Street Wraith. And then we want the Thassa, of course, and we have to get another land or mana producing thing in case they do have like Wasteland. Alright, how about a Petal? How does that work? So if they can somehow like put Merilage into play next turn, like if they go Dark Depths into play, Lotus Petal, Thoughtseize Force, play Vampire Hexmage, then being able to win next, like put Thassa into play next turn, seems kind of interesting. So we could just go for like mill over the Street Wraith with Undercity Sewers, and then on our draw step we draw Edge of Autumn. Then we cast Ponder. We cast Ponder off of Undercity Sewers. No, we would then have to draw like Island, and then Ponder would have to get us Thassa. Oh, rather, I'm sorry, I'm making things up here. So this feels like this isn't supposed to be that complicated. Let's see. So, Undercity Sewers is going to be in play. And if they Wasteland that next turn, then they aren't going to be putting Merilage into play, are they? So, if they don't Wasteland it, then let's say we draw the basic island. Or maybe we draw. I'm just not seeing a straight line to Thassa next turn that doesn't involve like line side diamonds. Maybe that is just what I'm supposed to be doing here. Hang on. So we can get rid of the Petal. We can put LED into play, or into the mix here. So let's say that we Undercity Sewers mill mill Edge of Autumn, and then we draw Street Wraith, and then the rest of the deck is Basic Island, LED, and Thassa. And so we can like use Undercity Sewers to cycle Lorien Revealed and grab Basic Island. Our hand is then Street Wraith plus Ponder plus Drown in the Lock. We have untapped Basic Island and 2 cards in the deck that are Thassa and LED. And so we cast Ponder. But that means that we can't have Undercity Sewers. We can't have that. Oh my god, we can't have that wastelanded. I suppose we could also just put. No, we have to do the surveil thing right now. Oh my god, why is this causing me so big of a headache? I think I'm back on not doing the LED thing. So let's just surveil Street Wraith into the graveyard, and then draw No, actually, screw that. Surveil Edge of Autumn into the graveyard. I don't think we'll be needing, like, the 2 life aren't going to matter. So we'll then draw Street Wraith. We can put Basic Island as the next card in case they do Wasteland us, and if not, then we just cycle using Sewers. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this. I feel like I've talked myself around a big circle, and I might have just confused myself more than I needed to. So Lotus Petal, Basic Island, Street Wraith, Edge of Autumn, and put Edge of Autumn into the graveyard and pass the turn. So I think this loses to the line I just mentioned of where they like both are able to Thoughtseize us and put Merilage into play. So let's hope they can't do that. Alright, opponent did not Wasteland us. Alright, so let's just see here. We're going to draw the Street Wraith. So we could cast Ponder, draw the Basic Island. Nah, it won't matter. It won't matter. I think I'm just going to cycle Street Wraith here and put my Basic Island into play. So they are casting Bowmasters. Do I care? Say I go to 6, then I go to 5 from the Bowmasters. And then, yeah, I need to draw twice more. I think I do just Force of Will this, pitching the Drown and the Lock. And then I'm going to draw the Island, and I'm going to cast the Ponder, draw the Lotus Petal, and then I'm going to play the Lotus Petal. And hopefully they aren't able to, they don't play like main deck Endurance or something, and they aren't able to like both Wasteland me and kill my Lotus Petal. If this is true, like the old school Rainbow Depths, they would be playing stuff like Stifle, which was meant to target opposing Wastelands and Caracas. And that would get us something good here. So hopefully that doesn't happen. There's a stage. Okay. Witherbloom Command does kill my thing here, so... But they made their land drop and it wasn't Wasteland. So let's hope they can't somehow get access to Wasteland here, or they do win. And that also, yeah, well, we saw the forest, so they are a green deck, so they could have Endurance, I suppose. But okay, they don't. They concede. Wait, what? No! What happened? They milled me! Oh, I'm such a doofus! Yeah, of course. That's what this card does. I was like, oh, you know, I win. Haha. Okay, no, they got me. Yikes. Alright, let's see. I don't think I really have a lot for them. Like Bowmasters can kill their Bowmasters, of course, and can also kill like Vampire Hexmage, but that only works if Dark Depths isn't already in play. Oh man, that was not pretty. Maybe just our 2 Bowmasters here are kind of alright. Don't think we want Shouldered, but no, probably not. And what would we be cutting here? They aren't like going to counter Thassa's. I'm gonna side out at Cavern of Souls. And then, I don't know, like this is likely to be an Endurance deck post sideboard, so do we ever want to just go ham with LED? Probably not. But also maybe it's nice to have the choice to do so. I'm gonna cut a Cycler instead. All right, let's see if we can snap back from this. Some mulligan, no Manosaurus. Oh, another mulligan, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't think this is a matchup where like being this light on resources is going to work. We do sort of get the quote unquote nuts mull to 5. So let's keep this and let's put away Ponder and I think Lorien Revealed. And I'm just gonna Dark Ritual Doomsday here. And we have Daze. And I think we need to figure out how we're gonna beat like a Witherbloom command. So let's get the Basic Island. Let's get Thassa, cross those things off. So The thing is, we kind of want a third mana source in case they have Wasteland. Meanwhile, our opponent is writing expletives in the chat. Um, and we kind of want Relic to beat Endurance. So maybe like another fetch land and another land. Are we happy with that? So we can, like right now, we can draw the Misty, and we can, or rather, we can draw Relic of Progenitus. Yeah, I think I like that. This doesn't beat the Witherbloom. We're just gonna have to try and beat that with this Daze. There is a Wasteland. Okay. So our pile is it's the Relic now, and then there's there's Surgical Underground Sea. Well, you won't find any Underground Seas there, but now my pile is completely fucked. And like it's bad if we draw Thassa, and it's kind of also bad if we draw like one of the fetchable lands. But we'll see. All right. So happy I didn't put Underground Sea in the pile as well. And they had no plays other than the Surgical. Okay, so I do draw Trop now. So I'm gonna play the Delta here, and I'm gonna fetch Basic Island before my next turn because I can't like really afford to draw, or rather, drawing the Basic Island just means like I'm adding a turn to the clock. But I also really would like to not draw Thassa, I think. So the pile is Misty Rainforest, Thassa, Relic, and what's the last card? Thassa, Misty Rainforest, Relic, Basic Island. Yeah, okay. All right, let's fetch here. Would love to draw the Relic, and if I draw Thassa, I think I'm just gonna put her into play. Instead, I draw the one card I really didn't want, and now maybe. Yeah, no, I think I needed to put Misty into play. I can't afford to put Trop into play because I might get wastelanded, and then that's all she wrote. But now, like, I can't really daze. Well, we'll see. Them playing the Surveillant last turn into the known daze was and they have a second wasteland. Wow. Okay. Thoughtseize. Okay, so I think we're just about ready to lose to an endurance here. They're gonna take daze. I can't really profitably daze here. And now we either draw Thassa or Relic, and I can't really use Relic. Like, I could use Relic, I suppose, to exile a card. Yeah, actually, hang on. I'm going to do that. If I draw the Relic, I'm just going to play Relic and pass. And then I can, like, exile 2 cards before I put Thassa into play. So they would need removal to kill her, or to not lose to her. But I guess maybe that's also really bad if they have Witherbloom command. They can untap and cast that, so. Okay, I draw the Thassa. I'm gonna just accept that I lose to an endurance here. Do you have it? Okay, they didn't have it. All right, cool. Multi 5, happy to sneak that win in. But now we have to win on the draw. Did we see anything to make us sort of change our plans here? Probably not. Would like Sheoldred at all be interesting? The problem with Sheoldred is if they just make like a 2020, it's over, right? We would have to win through some enormous amount of luck involving the One Ring and probably chaining rings, or just winning with Doomsday on the spot. In either case, I don't think Sheoldred really has that big of a part to play. I'm also kind of wondering if I'm even supposed to keep these Orcish Bowmasters in, but yeah, I don't like not having the Cavern is fine, and not having one cycler is probably acceptable. I'm gonna resubmit. Yikes. I mean, I think we keep these, but we do just like if they Thoughtseize us, it's kind of upsetting, but we'll see. There is a Burton Catacombs. That is certainly a place to start the line to cast a Thoughtseize. Oh, bummer. Okay. So what do you take here? You probably take the Doomsday? Yep. All right. And do you have a surgical extraction to follow it up? Okay, they're passing. That doesn't mean they don't have surgical. They might try and get a bit lucky here and see if I draw one. But that also gives me the opportunity to draw a Force of Will. Okay, so we draw a polluted delta. So all things being what they are, that's not the worst. I think I probably just represent the Bowmasters here, and then at the end of their turn, I will likely cycle Lord and Revealed off of basic Swamp and get a basic Island. I could also like get like fetch Bayou, get basic Island, and then like cast Edge of Autumn to get a like to then get my basic Swamp and mana ramp in that way. But we have a Dark Ritual, so we're not really like if we draw another Doomsday or a the One Ring, it's probably fine. Okay, so they bog themselves. They want to leave that Doomsday in there in case they find a Dark Surgical, which makes sense. And now they grief me, huh? Pitching Shouldred's Edict. Interesting. So there is a world where I just let this resolve, and then they likely take my Bowmasters. I think I do that rather than have them like 2-for-1 me. I would have to. It would cost me the Petal or the Dark Ritual to cast Bowmasters right now. Okay. Grief. What do you want? So if they take my Bowmasters and then cast Reanimate, then that's quite annoying. They took my Bowmasters, so let's have a look. Do you have Reanimate? They don't have Reanimate, it seems. I'm still going to do the line that I... Oops, hang on. I'm still going to make the play that I described. I think fetch the basic Swamp, my basic setup. I'm not going to do the fetch thing, whatever. Really love a Brainstorm and a way to shuffle. Or just Doomsday. Or I'll take the One Ring. I get to play this and still have my Swamp plus Petal, so I'm only like a little ways away from casting a Doomsday. But okay, and we draw Veil, which is nice in case they get to Bowmasters, and they aren't going to play a Bowmasters this turn, I wouldn't think, because at the very least they're going to want to wait until I no longer have protection from everything, and probably in response to me drawing with the One Ring. So in that case, it's going to cost us a Petal, but we could. Okay, Hexmage. Okay, now like if they have the Dark Depths, I'm just fresh out of luck. But it seems like they're passing though. Okay, so if we can hit some business here, that would be pretty big. Relic. I'm actually just going to play this Relic right now because it protects my Doomsday from Surgical Extraction. Probably I will Island Cycle here, and I will get I'll get a Tropical Island. I know that doesn't cast Doomsday, but it casts Veil of Summer. Witherbloom Command. I think I veil this. Yeah, get that value. They're tapped out here. It's going to cost them their turn. I draw Bowmasters, so I can kill the Hexmage, and as long as they don't exactly this turn play Dark Depths. Okay, no Dark Depths. And I think I am gonna... Yeah, I take 2 here. I'm gonna make myself exile a card from my graveyard and target Doomsday. If they want to then Surgical it, it'll cost me my Petal, but then I'll just exile the both graveyards. Okay, let's get rid of the Doomsday. I take some damage here. I'm at 14. I need to find another Doomsday. I'm gonna draw 3. It's not Doomsday. Okay, I am gonna cast Brainstorm here. Another ring is nice. Let's put away the Thassa and Tropical Island probably. And let's play a land and let's cast Ponder to shuffle mostly. Yeah. I think I probably cast Bowmasters now and kill their thing. Hope they don't have Veil. Okay, so they want to remove all counters from my ring. That's smart. also costs me my, I don't get the 1/1 here. But now I don't take damage, at least, from the ring. Wither Bloom is a sorcery if memory serves. Yeah, okay. Alright, I'm gonna activate this and target them. Maybe I'm not supposed to do this just because of clock reasons. I'm at like 4 minutes, almost 3 minutes down from them. This is the last game though, so I don't think it'll matter. Okay, I take 0 here. They could have Bowmasters, but we can drown. I'm gonna draw a card. And then I'm gonna Brainstorm. Hopefully not get Brainstorm locked. Please and thank you. I do kind of get Brainstorm locked. And I don't think I can afford to put Thassa in my graveyard. I know I can sort of counter it right now. But alright, let's put back Underground Sea on top and I'll mill that. I'll put Underground Sea in the graveyard. And then I will attack and pass. I have Force plus Drown. And I will counter a Bowmasters here. Or Endurance, huh? I think I countered the Endurance. Let's keep up the green mana here just to represent Veil. Take 1. It's a pretty cool and intense game. Or match even. So I think I have to fight over Bowmasters here. Okay, I have to let this resolve, and if they take Force, then I can daze a Bowmasters. If they take Daze, I can't, but Thassa is on top. But I'm not gonna pitch Thassa. No way, no how. They could also just have a land here and then play around Daze with the Bowmasters. But looks like they don't. So they're sitting on 3 spells here. I'm not going to bother now with the relic activations. Okay, I'm gonna start by drawing twice. And I am going to cast another ring, I think, because I would kind of like for them not to be able to Thoughtseize me next turn. So which one do I keep? I think I keep the one with the counters, honestly. I don't think this is going to end up being a damage race. Let's play this drop and attack. And we're hitting that sort of critical mass Doomsday problem where like we are half our deck through and we've seen 1. We should have seen 2, sort of. But having said that, that is just sort of how how the fail rate of this deck sometimes comes into effect. Okay, they're passing, still no land drop. Now they can activate, or they can play a Bowmasters through a Daze. I'm about to take 2, go to 11. Veil of Summer is nice in the Bowmasters respect. And there we go, there is Doomsday. Is there any way I don't win here? Like, what would they have to have? They could have double endurance, but does that matter? Let's say we Dark Ritual, and we cast Doomsday. And then we can draw 2 cards with Edge of Autumn. Let's just say we draw Force of Will. Or I guess, no, Force of Will plus fetch land. Fetch something away. And then can we, like, alright, let's just see. Force of Will, fetch land. Fetch land fetches a land out. So now there are 2 cards left in the deck. So we cast Thassa. If they have removal, it's going to be black, most likely. So we can Veil of Summer it. That will draw one of the cards. And then we can also Relic of Progenitus to draw the last one if they have more removal. Yeah, alright. I think that works. Let's just try this on for size. Okay, so we cycle twice. We draw Force of Will plus, let's say, Misty Rainforest. and we put Underground Sea in the deck, and then like in case they have Surgical, we could like put, say, Street Wraith into the pile and Consider as the last two cards, just to have a maximum sort of way to like to not lose to that Surgical. Okay, Underground Sea on the bottom. Oops, no. Yeah, go like this. I could also just use Consider and not like, but I think this works. So let's put Street Wraith and Consider on the bottom. Then Underground Sea, Force of Will on top. And then like if they do something in response to this first cycle, we can then cycle again immediately and draw the Force. It didn't resolve in anything happening. So let's cycle the second one. Alright, so let's fetch, and hopefully this works out. If they have like a split second removal spell, that would kind of upset me, but like, I don't think they would have that. Alright, Thassa's in, so I expect something to happen now, like Endurance, maybe? Okay, it's Dismember. Okay, I'm gonna Veil of Summer that. They could have more Dismember. Yeah, like if their hand is like 2 more Dismembers, then we lose. I think. No, well, yeah, we do, because like I force. Actually, no. We can hardcast the Force and then pitch Daze. Not pitch Daze, but like Daze, you know. So they Endurance, pitching Elvish Spirit Guide. So I think I let Endurance resolve and then see what they target, and then I'm going to exile with the Relic. Okay, so they do target me, so I am going to exile the Relic and draw a card. So now Endurance resolves. There are no cards in my graveyard to tuck underneath my library. And now, like, even if they have more removal, if I... Oh, is this crop rotation? Well, I don't know what they could have that would matter here, but I am abso-freaking-lutely going to Force of Will this. Oh, actually, hang on, am I? If I Force of Will this... If I Force of Will this, then my Force of Will be in my graveyard. Then that will become the top. What could they have? What could at all matter here that they would crop rotate for? That Desert card, the Ipnu Rivale, requires blue mana. They don't have that. I mean, I can Force, and then Endurance tucks my Force, and then Veil still resolves. They have no more cards in hand. I am actually going to let this resolve. Let's see. Screw this. Okay, so they get a Wasteland. Ah, okay, so that sort of comes out to the same. So one of my lands is going to be... Or at least they think so, but I have Daze, huh? But then my Daze is going to be in the graveyard. Never mind. Okay, so they get to Wasteland me. Something, a land is going to be in my graveyard. It's going to come underneath. Sure, I'll float blue. My land is going to be put in my graveyard. Endurance is going to tuck it. There are going to be 2 cards in my deck. Then Veil of Summer is going to draw one of them. And then, oh, yeah, I even forgot. I have this beat right. But my Thassa is going to survive anyways, so it doesn't matter. It's all good. Whew, that was tense. Tense games. Wow, that was cool. GG's. All right. Round 4. Yeah, round 4 on the draw against Handsome PPZ, who, according to MTG Goldfish, mostly plays like Vintage, but has like a Beanstalk Legacy finish a couple of weeks ago. So I guess that's my best bet. I'm gonna, regardless of that, I'm gonna keep this this hand, and let's see. This would also then constitute the first Force of Will deck that we've faced so far. Okay, Underground Sea, Ponder. Doesn't scream Beanstalk. Alright, they shuffle. Cool. I think I honestly, I think if this is like, I think it's Bug Beanstalk, and I think I'm gonna play this Relic here. If they wanna daze that, that's fine. And I'm gonna, like, this is a Murktide Regent deck, so, like, getting into their graveyard kind of matters. Wasteland, okay. Oh, that's kind of brutal. Yeah, they're just like, whatever. Take this Bowmasters and stuff it down your throat. Okay. Oh, that's so good from my opponent's side. In the face of this Brainstorm Ponder hand. Maybe I'm supposed to ponder there, though. I'm expecting to get Wastelanded here. They have Ponder, okay. If it is Bug Beanstalk, they're also like a Stifle deck. So we could be in all sorts of trouble here. Imagine if that had been the days I cut. Well, that's just how the cookie crumbles, I guess. So far, no Wasteland. That's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna take my draw step here if they let me. Okay, now they Wasteland. I think I Island Cycle here to spend my mana. And I'd love to see like a Veil of Summer. I think I am gonna ponder here. I'll grow the army. There's Veil and the One Ring. Interesting cards. All right, let's pass here. All right, here comes a fetch land. They have Brainstorm. Okay, so they are not like, if they were to fetch here, like untap fetch, they would have enough in the graveyard to cast Murktide. Does that matter? As much as I want the One Ring that's on top of my deck, I feel like the card I'm really missing is Dark Ritual. And it's not even... Oh, more Wasteland, yikes. Yeah. That... Maybe that just closes the door here, I'm not sure. Now, let's see. Wasteland into Murktide is a fast way to close the door. They can just cast the Murktide right now, like, before I get priority, but that would mean they don't Wasteland us. Alright. Just passing into combat here. I take 3, I go to 13. They Wasteland me in combat? Sure. So now I think I will have them exile something here in response, because once we get to their next main phase, they would have been able to cast the Murktide. All right, so I'm gonna fetch Undercity Sewers at end of turn here, and hope they don't have Stifle in hand. Looks like they do have Stifle. Must be nice. Wow, all those Wastelands and Stifles and a turn 2 Bowmasters. I'm jealous. Okay. So we know that the next card down is Undercity Sewers, something I would really like to not draw. So I am gonna pass here, and I'm gonna again make them... Okay, now it doesn't matter. If they do have the Murktide, it's gonna come down. It's also unlikely to matter now. I don't think I can like reasonably win if they resolve the Murktide. Or maybe just even at all. Also, we've not shown them what we were playing. Like, they probably looked us up, as I was talking about earlier, but even if they didn't, they can probably piece it together. I guess the Relic is a little bit weird. So what happens if I actually do spike a Dark Ritual here? Do I even go for it? Or do I try and resolve the One Ring? It's like, they're going to attack me down to 9. Fetch land is 8. And then Doomsday would be 4. So I can't really just Doomsday and just Hail Mary the Brainstorm well, not Hail Mary, but you know what I mean? Like, I can't really win that way, I think. I think I have to, if I'm going to win, it has to involve casting Veil of Summer. Wither Bloom command. So they are targeting me. Target player mills 3 cards, then you return land. Okay, so they are getting their wasteland back, and then I'm losing 2 life. What happens if I veil that? I'm not losing 2 life, but they can still, like, they're not under veil. I think veil doesn't stop this. But do I even? All right, hang on. Hang on. All right, I am actually going to draw a card here off of the relic. That way they won't have the wasteland unless there's another wasteland on top, of course. I take 1 more, which means actually 2 more because this is done before combat. Okay, so they get to put a polluted delta on top. I drew the Edge of Autumn, which is probably like pretty good. That means if I draw Dark Ritual right now, and you know, I could possibly win. I don't though. What's my play here? It would have to involve, like, if I cast Brainstorm and then find what? I would need to find Lotus Petal, Dark Ritual, and Brainstorm. I mean, that, let's try it, huh? We can brainstorm first. The triggers will, okay, that didn't happen. All right, GG's. All right, so when I have faced this deck with with the 4-color Doomsday deck, the Mark Tobias one, that's basically this list but with white, I have actually I have some crazy like 7-0 record. I've never lost to it. When I face it with Turbo Doomsday, it feels like a terrible matchup. I am concerned that what pushes this matchup away from me is the fact, like right now, is the fact that I don't have white. Like, Teferi is so good. Like, a Resolve Teferi kind of means that their Force of Wills can't draw them cards off of Beanstalk. But we don't have that. But we do have relevant cards. They don't have very many creatures, and we're boarding in a lot of removal. There's a world where we are supposed to at least consider Pernicious Deed 2. I'm going to board out of Doomsday completely, I think. This does mean cutting at least 1, maybe 2 blue cards, going down to 18, which is just probably too late. So maybe we take a Petal out and put Consider back in. It's just a weak cantrip to bolster our blue cards, our blue count. Yeah, I'm going to try this, although, like, the 1 Petal. Maybe, like, Relic of Progenitus is a worse card here than the 2nd Petal. Yeah, if there is a 3rd game, I might switch that up. Let's, I'm going to try this. I think I do fetch Basic Island here just to get out for, like underneath a Stifle. Like, a Stifle, I won't say it collapses my hand, but it is, like, certainly very unpleasant to play against. Alright. They mulligan to 6. Let's get Basic Island into play. And pass. Ponder. Okay. I am considering if I should be brainstorming on my turn, on their turn. Because if I were to get hit like days off the brainstorm, I could try and power through this, the One Ring. And also, like, I do kind of want to brainstorm twice, I guess. This is not terribly exciting. But I do think, actually, I'm gonna draw the Bayou, and then I'm gonna play Undercity Sewers tapped to mill the Underground Sea. Let's get rid of that. And if they, so like they have to decide what they want here. If they have more options open to them, it's like not clear to me what's best. If it's like wastelanding this sewers, or if it's like casting bowmasters or whatever. Maybe you want to hold out open stifle. I don't know. Well, that's not wasteland at least. If they do bowmasters here, I'm gonna. It could also be beanstalk, I guess. Okay, it is beanstalk. That's unfortunate. I think I brainstorm in response. Ooh. Well, hello. Oh man, that damn low blue count. Okay, I'm gonna just have to let that resolve, I suppose. And I think I try and cast the One Ring here. I'm gonna represent Veil of Summer. But I mean, this is an easy force of will if they have it. But I like being brainstorm locked the way I was. I don't think I'm happy to wait here. And I also have the Shieldred as sort of a backup, and this is force of negation. So that's unfortunate. Like they couldn't have done that on the Shieldred, and they would have force of willed, I think, to draw a card if they had force of will. And now, like, we get fucked by days and wastelands. Okay, so what is this? Bowmasters. Okay. So I'm not gonna fatal push here. If they didn't have the wasteland, I would be tempted to, just to lure out a daze and then cast Shieldred next turn. But I think I'd rather just like be sure this Bowmasters is dead, unless of course they're sitting on force of will. Yeah, you got it. But now I think we're drawing two lands, unfortunately. So let's kill the Bowmasters, and we'll pass. But now anything, like any serious sort of follow-up is going to be hard to keep up with. Like Murktide, even like second Beanstalk is a little bit scary. I guess like Witherbloom on Wasteland is also like just a nightmare. And here comes Murktide. So Murktide comes, they draw a card. I think I have to just play Shoulder It now, like this turn. I'm at 17. If I pass again, I'll be at 11, and then they'll attack. I'll be at 5, and then Shoulder It is sort of running out of time. Unless I want to dismember. Like, losing to a daze. Like, so they didn't have force of will before. So what spells would be in their hand that they wouldn't have just cast? It would be a daze, right? Or a stifle, I guess. So I think I'm actually going to hold off for one more turn. Since I drew the dismember, I'm going to dismember the Murktide in their upkeep. Seeing as they were kind enough, or unfortunate enough to not have it coming as a 6/6. And I'm not gonna pay any life if they have Spell Pierce. That's brutal. They have Veil. Oh, that's also really bad. Okay. I mean, yeah, this looks lost, unfortunately. So I'm gonna be at 11, like we just discussed, and okay, we can get lucky and draw like a blue card. They choose not to shuffle. Okay. Yeah, we draw blue card to pitch to Force of Will if they have days or whatever. Yeah, okay, that does happen. That means I'll be at 10. That means I'll be at 5, but then I'll go up to 7. Okay, well, let's see. They probably have something to say about this. I am expecting that days that they didn't show us before. Or rather, that I was sort of talking about before. Well, there's a big long pause here. I wonder, that probably means they have several options. Force pitch what? Force pitch Murktide. Okay, I'm gonna force back before they draw with the Beanstalk, just in case they draw like Force of Negation. Shoulder It is in. Okay, so I expect this to be too late, unfortunately. I think I need to draw something like a ring to make this interesting, or the second copy of Dismember. I mean, I'll take a brainstorm just to like gain a bunch of life, but I'm also really worried that they are sitting on bowmasters. And if they just like have a removal, they could have a removal for sure. Like then I think it's also done and dusted. They're paying costs. Sauron's Ransom. Okay. All right. So I will put. Oh gosh. Murderous Cut kills the Sheoldred. And like Daze obviously is not super scary here. So I could make it like Bowmasters and Misty, and then like then it's between like, but I don't know. Can I survive a Bowmasters? I guess if I draw exactly like Brainstorm now or the One Ring. Okay, I think it's actually I'm gonna make Bowmasters. All right, so I am gonna do it like this. I think. Wait, did they make a land drop this turn? They did not make a land drop. So the top cards are the pile they'll see. All right, I'm gonna do this, and hopefully they take the Bowmaster's pile, and if they take the Murderous Cut pile, okay. Your ringleader. So which one is the ringleader? That's the ring bearer. Okay, and now it can't be blocked. Yeah, that's smart. So I can't stop it with. And they took the Murderous Cut as well. Oh, and they had a land. Yeah, all right. GG's. GG's. All right, so our first loss. 2 more rounds to go. All right, so I'm back here waiting for round 5 to start. And a couple of heavy hitters are in the top slots right now. H.J. Kaiser is actually a good acquaintance of mine who plays at the same LGS, Hans Jakob. And I am betting that he's playing some kind of tempo strategy, because that is what he likes to do and is very good at. Sylvia Wataru is, I believe it's a Japanese streamer, and also big, like, MTGO grinder, mostly on the Delver deck du jour of whatever format they're in. I've played against them when they were playing like some sort of control deck, but only once, and then like a lot of times on Delver. Wonder Pro is another Doomsday pilot, and very, very accomplished player. I believe his name is Max in real life. Then we know Handsome PPZ, who just smacked us around on Bach Beanstalk. And then like the rest of the top slots, I don't really know, but I'm sure they're great. I think also we're at a point right now where I need to win both of my remaining matches to get into top 8. We'll see. On the play for round 5, I'm up against Zeus Destotus, which, according to MTG Goldfish, is a Dark Depths gamer, a Savannah gamer. But yeah, let's choose to be on the play. And we have turn 1 Doomsday. Don't think I get away from this. So let's not get away from it. Turn 1 Doomsday with Force Backup. I think I have sort of drawn above average so far in these leagues, or in these leagues, in this tournament here. I think they play Endurance, so I have to sort of plan for that. Let's say Thassa's Oracle, Basic Island. That's sort of where the party starts, and then a fetch land to fetch the Basic Island. And then I think we could just go for another fetch land and yeah, let's just go for another fetch land and another, which would be a wastable land, but I think that's okay. And then like if they don't waste us on their turn 1, we can cast Ponder and still have Force up. So Let's put the 2 fetchable lands on the bottom, then Thassa, and then the 2 fetch lands, and then pass. Also, I was just saying, I think I need to win both of my remaining matches. I can just jump into the tournament here. So, like after this round, there are going to be 2 4-0s, or sorry, 5-0s, and then a bunch of 4-1s. Let's say 5 through to 20. So that's 16 people. That means there's going to be 8 4-1s, 9, 10 4-1s. Like 2 of the current top XOs are going to be 4-1. So 8 4-1s, 10 4-1s, and 2 5-0s. The 2 5-0s will get paired in the final round, and the 10 4-1s will get paired. So if 10 4-1s get paired, 5 will be 5-1, and 5 will be 4-2. That leaves 1 slot open by my calculations to 1x2 to make it in. But yeah, better not to have to rely on that. Okay, so opponent, it's their turn. Let's see here. Once upon a time. Not going to force that. Something like a Ghost Quarter or something, if they play something like that, is going to be a problem. Okay, they just get Windswept Heath. Windswept Heath into like, yeah, you can Mox Diamond. Windswept Heath into, say, Elvish, what's the name? Alsor Shepherd, and then like have uncounterable endurance would be a problem. There's Reclaimer. I'm gonna let that happen. I'm gonna pass. And then I'm going to ponder. Yeah, I'm gonna ponder. And I'm gonna draw Polluted Delta, probably? Yeah. So that sort of moves ahead our win by 1 turn. So hopefully that's gonna be good enough. If they have something that shuffles our deck here, that would be a little bit annoying, like Field of Ruin or something, but I don't think they would play that. Alright. If they have Gadok Teague into Endurance, then I lose, I believe. Alright, they're just attacking, putting some damage on me, so no activations. Sure, someone's Safekeeper, that works. Alright, so hopefully we get to just win here. And I am going to, I could just fetch once and see if they have like Plow, then I fetch again. No, but then I would have to oh, okay, never mind. No, if they have, like, let's say I just fetch 1 land here, and then I cast Thassa, then they Plow, I fetch again, then they Plow in response. Would that even work? That wouldn't work. But ultimately, it's not going to matter. I don't think they have a way for me to draw a card here, so I'm just gonna cast the Thassa. See if they have endurance. They can't cast 2 endurances here, so no. All right, cool. We win game 1. That was important because I think this matchup gets quite tricky post board. All right, so their last deck list has like Doorkeeper Thrall, Veil of Summer, endurance, and Collect Roof coming in. And there's also, they also play a list that plays like Flusterstorms. That's really interesting. I don't really know how to approach this. Like Doorkeeper Thrall is something we can't really fight that well. I think actually Pernicious Deed is pretty decent here. Part of me almost wants to like try and cheese them with a Shouldered, but no, that doesn't make sense, right? Because they're a Reclaimer and Knight deck, so they're gonna have like bunches of like ways to 2-drop lands and get their Karakas. So 2 Deed and 2 Push is somewhere around there that I want to be at. But then what do I cut? So the Relic is nice because it lets us play around the endurance. The Veils of Summer are kind of nice because if they are like on Flusterstorm, that's a pretty big issue. I think probably I don't want to be like win the same turn with LED and consider, so I am going to cut those. And then I think that maybe that means I can cut 2 cards, 2 of the cyclers. So I'm going to try this. So ideally we get to do like a Doomsday where we have time to do the relic thing to play around endurance, like we saw versus the other depths opponent. I'll keep this. I'm not in love with it, but it does sort of function. I'm gonna Underground Sea Ponder here, and if they want to like fluster this, then that's kind of annoying. But okay. All right, cool. I want all these cards basically. I think I want Lotus Petal in my hand, and then to draw the One Ring. I'm gonna play out the Lotus Petal, just like, you know, if they were to like Thoughtseize me here. I don't know if they're playing black, but if they were to Thoughtseize me, we can Veil. That still costs us the 2 cards, like the Force of Willowwood. But yeah. And then we're drawing Drown in the Lock. But I mean, I'm gonna do this, and they're gonna need to pretty quickly do something that catches them up. And I mean, obviously, I am gonna like counter a Green Sun Zenith for 2, for instance, which is something they could have next turn, because that just goes and gets Collector Roof. Their stage, they're not doing anything interesting. I'm guessing it could be that they have like crop rotation and are just trying to go for a quick kill here. But I mean, this is looking kind of nice. Yeah, let's play this on Wizard, and let's just pass. Doorkeeper Thrall. Okay, so I'm gonna force this pitching force. They might Veil of Summer, but then we can daze that, or they might fluster us, and then we can still daze the Thrall. I could also have let Thrall resolve and then just drown it at some later point. There is Dark Depths. Yikes. Okay. Well, now it's sort of it's go time. Come on, Doomsday. Doomsday. Oh yes. All right. So I have Thassa. I get to draw 3 cards off this ring, and I will have the Cavern of Souls. Yeah, like if they fluster this Doomsday, then I could force Pitch Lock, and then daze and then pay for the last copy. Yeah. I mean, I am going to Doomsday now. Obviously, I'm dead on board, so that's not really a conversation. I could have activated a ring before, but I don't think I like that. Okay, so they're fetching. This could be the Flusterstorm, which means if then they also have Veil of Summer here, this doesn't work, but then at least I'm not dead to stage. Okay. So it looks like Doomsday is resolving, if I'm lucky. Yeah. All right, we made our land drop. We can draw 3 and have them be Force of Will, Petal, and hope that's good enough. We can have them be Petal, Dark Ritual, the One Ring. So how do we lose this? We lose this. Like, obviously, I think if they had Veil, they would have veiled the Force of Will on the 1 copy of Flusterstorm. At least I think so. So if we do this, the just win right now, like put Petal, Force, we lose to them having Plow plus Endurance, or double Endurance, or Endurance plus Veil. But I mean, and we could play it slow, right? because if they are like if they can't really make Merit Lodge here, even if they have, I guess it would require Elvish Spirit Guide. Yeah, if they had Elvish Spirit Guide, I don't know. We also lose. I guess what we lose to here is if they activate. If I activate the ring and then they cast Doorkeeper Thrall, I forgot about that card. Um, I think, anyways, they already used the Thrall, and then I could, like, if I make Fatal Push second from last, then if they cast Thrall in response to my ring activation, then I get to draw 3 cards, and then like I just pass. I will be at 7. I'm going to be at 7, then I'll take 3 from my ring next turn. I'll be at 4 and 1 from the, yeah, that's fine. But then, like, if I fatal push the thing and then they have Legolas's reflexes out, whatever, you know, you can't play around everything. Is there, maybe I like put Edge of Autumn in here in case they have Surgical Extraction as the last card. Yeah, I like this. So, so I think push on the bottom actually, and then edge, and then I draw these 3 cards right now. Let's see. What do you have? Do you have anything? So Plow plus Endurance is what I'm most scared of here. Thrall would have it probably won't matter now. They can't keep up. They can't pay for cast Thrall and then keep up Veil. So I guess like Endurance plus Veil. But like I said already, I think the Veil probably isn't there. All right. Let's see. What do you have? She's in. Do you have Endurance? Their bank cost. They have Plow. Well, I'm forcing that. So if they have Endurance here, they get to win. But they didn't. All right, cool beans. 4-1. So we are looking at a win and in. Let me just see how the other matches are going here. Still 18 of the 24 are in progress. Yeah, so Sung also won in their X and 1 matchup, as did M4. All right, cool. Well, I'll be back with the final round of this tournament. All right, round 5 is over and round 6 is about to begin. And as I kind of mumbled my way towards, it looks like there are 2 XOs and 10 X1s, which is going to mean 1 X2 is going to make it into the top 8. And we are currently the 3rd highest ranked X1, but who the heck knows? So I'm going to approach this final round as a win and in, or rather a lose and out, I guess. So hopefully we can pull it off, but we'll see. There's going to be good opposition, whoever we face here. Okay, round 6 on the play. Our opponent seems to be a person mostly seen playing shops and vintage and jewel shops. They have a finish with mono red with like Moon Stompy in Legacy like a month ago, so who knows? But I am on the play here. So if this is a Stompy deck that I'm up against, then this is not a good hand, or at least it's a little bit of a like weak hand. But I am gonna keep, and I am gonna hope that I can. I think mostly I want to avoid turn 1 Chalice or turn 1 Trinisphere, but like who knows? The opponent could be on something else entirely. But I am gonna keep this. And I'm not gonna fetch basic. I'm gonna fetch Underground Sea and cast Ponder on turn 1. Opponent is on multi 6, because even if we do get Blood Mooned, we can still Lorien Revealed for a basic island, and we have Lotus Petal to cast the Dark Ritual. Okay, they're on 5 cards. If they are Moon Stompy, then we are sort of effectively on 6, because Veil of Summer is Veil of Summer, and doesn't really have a lot of text, unless they were to go like Chalice on 0, and then we can Veil Summer to cast our Lotus Petal, but not really seeing that as a thing we would want to do. Okay, I want to see Doomsday or Force of Will, I guess. The One Ring I will also take. And there's the One Ring. Yeah. Yeah, I take this. And I draw... Oh, I shouldn't have put the One Ring. Like, if it's not... I'm actually going to play this petal here. If it happens to just be like Scam or something, I shouldn't have put the ring in my hand, but we'll see. So top card is Underground Sea, and then after that it's Brainstorm. And I put I did put a an Underground Sea on top of the Brainstorm, because if they do Chalice us here, then I would rather have I'd like the Underground Sea. Yeah. Okay, so that's fine. Well, it's not fine, but it's not the end of the world. It means we just lost 3 cards in our hand, but the one card that really matters is the One Ring. And because of Lorien revealed, we do get to cast it next turn. I don't think I get to play around both Blood Moon and whatever else here. Goblin. Oh, it's a Goblin deck. Okay, sure. So please not Name Sticker. But I guess that would be quite likely. They do hit the Name Sticker. Do they roll 6? They do. Do they have Muxus? Am I just speaking things into existence here? Okay, so basically, if I don't actually just die right now, which I could, okay, so they get Matron here. Matron finds what? Another Name Sticker maybe? But if that's the line, then they don't have Muxus. But maybe they have another Name Sticker, but they're getting Muxus. Yeah, who knows? Okay, so anyways, like, I'm gonna cycle Lorien Revealed, get Underground Sea, like cast the One Ring, and then I really need for Doomsday to be in like the top like 3 or 4 cards in my deck, I think. Let's say Ring draws me, like Doomsday can be the top card after Lorien Revealed. Okay, there's Bombardiers. Okay. So they can choose to like throw Matron at me right now. Or I guess the Name Sticker, but the Matron is a smaller body. If they do that, then I take 5, which is probably worth doing, right? Yeah. So I take 5. I'm at 12. And yeah, so if Doomsday is in the top, I draw it now. If it's in the second from top, I draw it with Ring. If it's the third from the top, then I draw in my subsequent draw step. And that's kind of, it needs to be in the top 3 cards, basically. Come on, Doomsday. Doomsday. Nope, that's not Doomsday. Okay, so we cast the Ring, and immediately we draw. Middle of Summer. Not what we had hoped. Okay. So they have 2 mana now. That's not a lot of mana. Next turn they can dome me for 4 and then throw this for 5. So that would be 9 damage. I'll be at 11 right now. So I probably need to hit like Doomsday right now, or like another like Ring. Yeah. Well, I mean, the play is to draw cards here. That unfortunately... Tell you what, we can block the Name Sticker Goblin. And I think I don't want either of these cards, right? If I block Name Sticker, because I can't block this ugly mug, doesn't matter. I block Name Sticker, I take 2 plus another 5, so that's 7. I'll be at 4, and then I take 2. Oh, something's happening. Another one, and I can't even be countered. Okay, then it's the same deal. Then I'm just dead. Yeah. Alright. That was quick and painful on a mulligan to 5. I wouldn't have drawn Doomsday anyways. Alright, well, good news is we can get rid of these veils. So how did I board last game? I think the Dismembers and the Boseiju, and then I can't even remember. Like maybe Pernicious Deed is pretty okay. So board like this. We don't know if they are like a I think maybe the goblins deck has sort of shied away from Mags of the Moon in lieu of or in favor of Blood Moon. Yeah, it's hard to say. All right, let's have a good one. Oh, mulligan, no lands, and keep. And I think I bottom one of the rings, and I think I play Delta, play Petal here, and just pass. Then I can surveil land at the end of their turn, and then I could cast Pernicious Deed. It'll cost me my Petal, which is not ideal. And also like X, like I would need to know that there was a third land coming, I think, because I don't think like X for 2 doesn't really do anything. Okay, so what's this? This is another Chalice, it looks like. Okay. Well, I'm gonna say A-okay to that. That's another thing that Deed can mop up. Undercity Sewers. Lorien Revealed. I think I put that in the graveyard. I don't think I have time for that. Okay, so I can cycle Street Wraith, which I'm going to do. Daze. Alright, so I mean, I could just Deed right now and take their Chrome Box, and if they randomly don't have another land that makes red mana, then that's kind of interesting. I could also just Deed and then keep up the Deed. Oops. I think I maybe I like that more rather than just like taking the chance here, because then if they just have another Chalice or like Mountain into Namestaker Goblin or whatever, then that's not so nice. Daze and this is not looking too good right now. I think I do pass here. We can Daze a 3-drop if they have one. If they have like multiple 3-drops or a 5-drop, then that's kind of bad. If they miss their land drop here, then I'm very interested in blowing the Deed for 0, I think. Okay, I think I do Daze this. Huh? Yeah, let me Daze that. They could have Spirit Guide here, of course, but... And did they not make a land drop because they don't have any, like, anything else to do here? I don't know. We don't need, like, paying 0 for Deed can happen at any time. Okay, I'm gonna Sewers this. Put this into the graveyard, please. And I think I do actually blow this now. Maybe it's what they wanted, like they have another, they have way more mana or whatever, but if they don't, then it's pretty good. And I can answer a creature here. So if this is Namesticker Goblin, I can answer it before the trigger resolves. It'll take me, like a lot of life. But that leaves them with 1 land, and if I'm lucky, they kind of stall out here. Being on 13 life is not amazing though. Okay. Another ring. Yeah. Okay. Now I absolutely must draw a land. They had another land, but it's not a soul land. Okay. They have Chalice for 1. That is annoying, but land? Yes. Okay. So we draw land. We can cast a Doomsday if we find one with the lands we have available right now. Not so much if they find a Blood Moon. Edge of Autumn, okay. If anything but Blood Moon, I feel like, because with the extra ring, we can like time walk if they do find another creature here. Ugh, they have now they have 3 mana at least, but they're down to like after they imprint something here, they're down to 1 card. What was that? Trash Master. Yeah. All right. And a Matron. Okay. So Matron gets them to whatever. It was like Bombardiers probably. Yeah, that's just so good, that card. Okay. So I would love to find Doomsday here. Obviously, can't cast that. Can't cast any of these. Oh, I kept in the Relic. That seems probably like something I shouldn't have done. Okay, let's just see here. They cast Bombardiers. They attack for 3. I go down to 9. They throw the Matron. I take 5. I'm at 4. And then I take 2 damage. From the ring, I'm at 2. Then I think actually I'm supposed to do this now. And yeah, let's do this now. And I guess, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm sort of running out of time here anyways, but I think I probably need to keep the one that has 2 counters on it. All right, so here comes Bombardiers, and they pass, and now I have to. I think I have to cycle Edge of Autumn if I don't draw Doomsday, because I think it's more important to have the Doomsday, the ring activation. Okay, consider. I could also, like, if I draw the one with the 1 ring here and I hit Doomsday, then I could like Edge of Autumn into the pile, and if I can somehow then resolve the 1 ring, I don't know. If I draw now and I hit Doomsday, I will have what, 3 mana? 2 mana after Edge. After Doomsday. Yeah, I think I just draw here. Draw 3. Come on. No! Ugh, god damn it. Well, I guess that's it. Look at all these. My hand of 7 cards is actually a 2-card hand because of that stupid chalice. Okay. I think I will just cycle to draw one here. Maybe I draw a ring. I don't. All right. GG's. And I think that probably ends my tournament. We'll see. Like I said, I think one person on XN2 is going to enter the top 8, but probably not me. But I mean, yeah, 4-2. I think it's it's a respectable record, but not a great record, and you need a great record to top 8 at most Magic tournaments. And this obviously is with very few players, so I think it's a little bit of a bummer because the opportunity was definitely there. Let's have a look. Okay. So right now there are like a couple of 4-2s that are right now ranked below me. I'm not sure what that means, but I think right now we are I'm sorted by rank. Maybe that's the rank we had at the beginning of this round. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how exactly this works. But yeah, it would have to be a small miracle, I think. Let's see how many are going to be at 4-2. So, all right. As you can see, unfortunately, I finished on 9th place. So, on the outside looking in. But I mean, it was a very fun experience actually. I'm very happy the way this panned out. Unfortunately, obviously not with missing out on top 8, but I have been a bit hesitant about making these like recording challenges. First of all, I play in relatively few of these tournaments. It's not always that it's sort of convenient to be playing when they're on, and then like I'm a little bit worried whenever I do one of these that like I'm gonna lose like my first 3 matches or whatever, and then it's like, well, I now have to like power through what feels like a lost cause just to finish the product, so to speak, or I could just toss the recording in the trash and just accept that I'm not making a video after all, and then it kind of feels like a bit of a waste. So But now I tried it, and fortunately, I was sort of alive until the last round, and I had my fate in my own hands. But unfortunately, that's how it panned out. And just sort of, um, and yeah, just sort of summing up on the deck and how it performed. Obviously, we faced a little bit of a weird spread of decks. We faced exactly one other blue, quote unquote, blue deck, like a one Force of Will deck, and we lost to them. That was the Buck Scam deck, and that opponent made it to the top 8. And then we lost. We faced 5 non-blue decks. We faced one Storm deck, and then 2 Goblins and 2 Depths strategies. And so against those 5 opponents, going like winning 4 and losing 1, I think is somewhat acceptable in the grander scheme of things. And then losing to the Bug Beanstalk deck was obviously disappointing, but I think also something that you can sort of expect to happen. And I think this tournament sort of showed, like, I think I somewhat got a well-rounded experience. I feel like my deck really performed. I got some strong opening hands. I won some important dice rolls. Like, I think the first Goblins opponent, I probably lose that round if I lose the dice roll. But I didn't, and so I won on the last. I drew with the ring on the last turn I had to get to Doomsday, and then like in other at other times, I feel like my Bug Beanstalk deck opponent really like drew pretty hot and also played well, but like that game 1 where like yeah the Bowmasters into like double Wasteland and Stifle was just too hard to overcome. And I did like I mentioned, like I did cut a daze for the Relic. The Relic largely proved um, sort of irrelevant. Not entirely, but largely. Like there was a game I won against the Depths opponent where the Relic was clutch because it let me beat Endurance. But I mean that was a post sideboarded game, and if I'd had the Relic in the sideboard, yeah, uh, you see where I'm going. But yeah. So I think like there is give and take and stuff, and a few more margins on my side. Maybe I'm in that top 8, but yeah, them are the breaks. All right. So with that said, thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, do the YouTube thing, subscribe, all that stuff, and I will be back with some more Legacy. Bye bye.